Boom! What is going on, guys? Sean Boyle here with another Momentum 360 weekly YouTube video. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. In this video, we are going to be discussing, guys, the 10 hottest real estate markets in the United States. Let's get started. What's going on, guys? If you haven't yet, go to our YouTube channel, click subscribe, and click that little bell too so you get notifications whenever we post a new video. You will be the first person to know. Thank you so much for the support, and now the video you've been wanting to watch. All right, guys, disclaimer, before we get into the video, I just wanted to preface this by saying that I'm going to be talking about the 10 hottest real estate markets in the country. Momentum 360 is going to be targeting these areas, to work with higher level realtors, bigger listings, and ultimately get more money. So I'm going to show you kind of the philosophy of what we're trying to achieve with going after these markets and why it's so advantageous to do so rather than going after a market that is in a decline and that is not as popular and as hot. All right, let's get into it, gang. So this video, we're going to be talking, like I said, about the 10 hottest, sizzling real estate markets in 2023 in the United States. So I've squandered a lot of different real estate sites, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and I like Zillow's analysis the best because I think it's not biased at all, and they give a lot of good stats to back it up from unbiased sources. All right, so let's get started. And before we get into this list, guys, I essentially want to tell you why I'm talking about this. So I'm a real estate investor. I buy single family homes, duplexes, triplexes, and small apartment buildings in the city of Philadelphia, where I'm from. However, I'm looking to also expand my real estate portfolio and also get Momentum 360 primarily more revenue. So you have to ask yourself, would I rather target a market that is hot or a market that's cold? Well, a hot market, I can get more money per listing because the listing is more expensive. I can upsell more because there's more demand. And on top of that, there's going to be repeat business because the market's so hot. After the first listing is sold, there's going to be even more. So realtors are always going to need content internally and externally. So this is something where I pretty much really would like to focus on in this year. So let's get started. Number 10, wouldn't you know it, city of Philadelphia. So guys, as you can see here, the city of Philly is one of the hottest markets and is one of the most affordable markets in the country. So in 2022, as you can see here, the median sale price in December for a home was only $310,000. I'll show you guys really quickly, as you can see here, 1915 Mifflin, 3215 Latona Street, and a couple other properties I have are, I would say, on average, about $300,000. And they're pretty nice sized properties. I can't complain. So Philly is really hot. I can tell you this is extremely true. And I'm biased, but one of the best markets in the country, I would say. Atlanta. So I've been hearing a lot of good things from Atlanta. As you can see here, they are 6.1% year over year, and they keep really rising. I think Atlanta is one of these areas where, in terms of like party city, in terms of like destination, it kind of takes second, third place to the New Yorks of the world, the LAs, the Miamis especially. But Atlanta's still Atlanta. It has a great sports team, the Hawks, the Braves. As much as I hate to say it, they're really, really solid sports team. And on top of that, they got a lot of cool attractions. And it's a very vibrant city, as you can see here, hip hop scene, and there's a lot of cool stuff that you can check out. So I'm not surprised that Atlanta is in this number 9 spot. And just like I said, Miami is number 8. There's no doubt in my mind that Miami is really hot right now. It's always going to be hot. It's very desirable, especially with the tax situation going on there, the weather, just again, very free environment, very liberal type of philosophy, and Maybe not liberal with their government, but very more so laid back. And Miami is, I would say, one of the best cities in the world. One of my favorites for sure. The only thing with this is the housing price is about 100,000 more than Philly, so it's pretty expensive, but still pretty solid area. Kansas City, Missouri. So I have family who actually lives here, and I can tell you guys, this is a very underrated, really underrated area. So if you're looking to buy real estate here, maybe move to this area to build a family, I would highly recommend it. In the Midwest, there's a good number of spots, but I would say Kansas City is amongst the top simply because, again, of their sports team, of their history, of their food, Southern barbecue, you gotta love it, and just their hospitality. And I think there's a big digital boom that's coming in due to COVID, honestly, and people wanting to get cheaper living, which Kansas City offers. And it's more, I would say, laid back and casual. It's not that much of a party scene. It's more, dive bars and it's just that kind of vibe. But I would say that Kansas City is one of my personal favorites if I'm going to move and relocate to a place that isn't as expensive as the Miamis and the Atlantas and even the Philadelphias of the world. All right. Now we have Jacksonville at the number 6 spot. So Jacksonville, very much so like Miami, is pretty expensive, I would say. But as you can see here, the Jacksonville coast just boasts 22 miles of white sandy beaches and a lot of water. As you can see here, the youngest city in the world with an average age of 36. This is actually, I would say, for people who, they have a little bit of money, they want to move down here, they want to get a little bit more freedom on the water. This is always going to be desirable because Miami might not be, I would say, something that they could afford, right? So Jacksonville's still expensive, but still, I would say, a little less expensive than Miami. So been here multiple times. Love the Jaguars, their football team. Great little town. Speaking of great little towns, Nashville. So Nashville, Tennessee, home to the Blues. Some of the best music and food in the entire country. I think that this is extremely underrated because, the weather is great. There's a good Southern hospitality thing there. And for what you get, it's a pretty solid area. So I would say Nashville is only going to continue to climb, and it probably will continue to crack the top 5 next year. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the top 3, to be honest with you. But 6.4 annual home growth over 2022. And forecast to drop to 11th place. So this is kind of making me eat my words. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens if this drops, but we'll see what happens. I don't know if this correlates with the same ranking. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. Dallas. So Dallas, I will be honest, guys, is I've never been here, so I can't really say one way or the other. Oh, this is great, that's great. But I've heard a lot of great things. I'll just tell you, I was in Austin, Texas, which is about an hour away from Dallas. And if Austin is anything like Dallas, which not really, it's very liberal. There's a lot of solid weather. And as you can see here, new listings dropped about 33%. So about a third from pre-pandemic COVID levels. So very affordable real estate here. And again, like, you want to talk about restaurants, shopping centers, great sports teams, as much as I hate to admit it with, the Dallas and Philly rivalry, it's pretty solid. So I don't really have much experience here, but I'm not surprised that Dallas is in a tough spot. And surprisingly, in my opinion, you have Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh, as you can see, is, let me read this again really quickly, 25% mortgage payments while under the 30% threshold. Okay, so you're saving money with Pittsburgh. And I'll tell you guys, Pittsburgh has a special place in my heart. My mom went here to school. My family is from Pittsburgh, the Oakmont town of Pittsburgh, where the Oakmont Country Club is, the Oakmont Bakery. We have a lot of history here. And I'll tell you, Pittsburgh's one of these places where it makes you feel right at home. You have these cool bridges right across the bridge. I don't know which, I think it's over here. You can't see it, but that's where the stadium is. And it's just a really nice spot. I mean, for what you get, it's a pretty nice city. It's, I would say, equal to Philly in terms of, like, how do I say? I'd say a little bit cleaner than Philly, and crime's about the same, food's about the same. Well, Philly's a little bit better, But I would say, I like Philly just because I lived here all my life. But Pittsburgh is a very close second. But I'm not surprised that the real estate here is, very, very hot, to say the least. And we have Cleveland, as you can see here. So Cleveland at the number 2 spot is absolutely booming. I've heard great things coming out of Cleveland. Ohio in general is a very hot state right now. So you have Columbus, you have Cleveland, you have Youngstown, which is actually a client of ours. So there's a lot of cool places in Cleveland that I would recommend. And you can see here, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Christmas Story was filmed here. So they have a lot of history and a lot of projections really make them one of the hottest cities in the world. And then, as you can see here, taking the number 1 spot is Charlotte. So this, I am actually not surprised at all. I've heard from a lot of my investor buddies and a lot of my people who do photography that they're moving down to Charlotte because whether it's a condo or a luxury apartment building or a luxury townhome or house, it's just unbelievable. I mean, prices are going through the roof. As you can see here, you have NASCAR, the Hall of Fame, Charlotte Hornets, the Panthers. There's so many really cool sports teams here. And in terms of the pricing, it's one of the most affordable still in the country. It's getting to the point where it's becoming, I don't want to say unreasonable, but it's, getting a little more expensive as, economics work with everything being more in demand. But I would definitely check this out. I think that people are going to want to move on average, I would say, closer to the South, Florida, Texas, Ohio, Missouri, of all places. As you can see here, all these areas, a lot of them are in California. It's just way too expensive right now. It's way too expensive. So I would recommend, guys, if you're a photographer or you are a person who's looking to buy real estate, definitely check this out. To list zillow.com/resources/data/hottest housing markets 2023. That being said, guys, this is something where we're going to be doing a lot of marketing and advertising in these niches. In these markets, to whether it's real estate, real estate, small businesses, etc. I want to hit this and hit while the iron is hot, so to speak, and try to get some new business from here. But that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, if you want to debate this list in the comments, go ahead. I'll definitely read it and respond. What are your top 10 hottest housing markets that weren't mentioned? Do you agree with this list? Do you not? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear. Let me know what you guys think. Smash that like button. I cannot wait to hear the feedback on this, and I cannot wait to make another video for you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon.